This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good morning, friends. In this Business Intelligence Master Program, today our session we are going to load data from on-premise SQL Server to the Azure Synapse. So we already discussed whenever we are loading data into the Azure Synapse, there are two ways. One is you can directly load data into the Azure Synapse. Otherwise, by using polybase, you can able to load data into the Azure Synapse. If you use polybase, you can able to load data quickly into the Azure Synapse with high throughput. Okay, that's how the polybase technology will work. Okay, so but here what I wanted to do before I explain all the things that we are going to discuss, Azure Synapse and the SQL Server, these two setups, it will take approximately 15 to 20 minutes. That's why I will go and create these two services first. Then I will proceed with the other slides explanation. Okay, whatever I have in the slides, I will explain that. Then we will do the lab. So first I will go and create the Azure Synapse and the SQL Server. These two things are required for us to do this particular lab. So I will just create these things and then we will proceed with the other slides. Okay, fine. Come here. So how you will create your oh, right. So they have changed the name. See, dedicated SQL pools. So that's what I was thinking. See, it's formerly known as SQL DW. Now, previously the name for this is Azure Synapse. Now the name for this particular data warehouse is dedicated SQL pools. Okay, just to click on this, friends, not that particular tool. We need to create a dedicated SQL pools. Okay, so this is the name it has changed. Okay, if anybody has asked Azure Synapse, we have to tell we are using a dedicated SQL pools. Just click add to create the your data warehouse. That is nothing but Azure Synapse. This was known as a Azure Synapse previously. Now the name has changed to dedicated SQL pool. Fine. So free trial, a resource group I need to create. That resource group, just click create new. So here you need to give the resource name. What is resource group name? Cloud Pandit BA Master Program. Click OK. Here your SQL pool name. This is nothing but your how you will give database name, right? In the same way, here you need to give the data warehouse name. You can say Cloud Pandit SQL DW, SQL data warehouse, something like that. If it is a database, I usually give SQL DB. If it is a data warehouse, you just have to say SQL DW. Now, as I said, you just have to create this server here also. Just click create new. Here I will just create a Cloud Pandit SQL server. Okay, I'll just enter username. It's like a similar to how you have a database, but only thing is data warehouse means you have multiple databases in that. Password is not matched. Okay, password has matched. Click OK. Here, if you remember in a database, we have purchasing model is DTOs, VCOs, right? But here something called scale. This is also important question. People will ask how much scale you are using. Scale is nothing but a data warehouse units. Based on this, you are going to get the performance, and then based on this, your cost also will increase. See, when I use 1000 C per hour, I am going to pay 1000 rupees. It is very difficult for me to pay, so I'll just reduce to 100 C. So 100 C means I'm just paying 100 rupees per hour. Okay, but data warehouse itself a very costly resource. So you just have you have a option to pause it. You can stop it. But database you don't have an option to stop it. Okay, but data warehouse you can able to pause it. Okay, remember, if anybody asks the difference between SQL database and SQL data warehouse, this is one of the difference you can tell. So one is SQL DB will purchase with DTU or vCore, and data warehouse we will purchase with the scale. Second is DB we cannot pause it, but data warehouse we can able to pause it. Okay, pause it. Okay. Next, data warehouse is the OLAP system. Analytics, we will apply all the historical data we will have in this DW. Example, last 4 years of your business data we will keep in data warehouse. But database will have current data, maybe let's say last 1 week or last 1 month data you'll have. So from the database, by using ETL process, we will load data into the data warehouse. Whatever data we have in data warehouse, that is a reporting data. Business will look into this data, whatever data you have in a data warehouse. Just click apply. So I'm just using 100 data warehouse units. Remaining things are same. Network leave as it is. Click additional settings. So if you remember, in database also we have some sample. If you click sample adventure database, you will get where you have some sample tables and all these things. But we were selecting the empty database, right? So in the same way here also, you just select empty data warehouse, then click review, press create, click create. So it will take approximately 15 to 20 minutes to provision. So let it provision. Open one more tab here, portal.azure.com. So I hope everybody is clear on how you can create the DW. It is not going to, we are not going to create very frequently this because it's a very costly. So can you confirm, friends, everybody is clear how to create DW? Can you confirm quickly? Shushmita, clear? Ramu, Ratnaraj, Pavan, Bharat, Avinash, everybody's clear, friends? Right, thank you. So I'm just going to the second tab. Here you see what I wanted to do. I want to create a virtual machine which is going to have a SQL server installed, right? So just go to virtual missions. Thank you all, thank you. Click add virtual mission. Free trial resource group, I will select same resource group which we have created. And here virtual mission name, I will say cloud funded VM. Cloud funded VM. Okay, next. Region is the East US, and availability option, I'm not selecting anything, but as we discussed, image is very important part. Based on the image, you will get the all softwares installed. Okay, just click browse all public and private images. Here we need to search for the image which has SQL Server installed, right? So we were searching yesterday. Come down little bit further. Okay, you see till here you are not able to see. Then what you need to do, come here, search something like this, SQL Server image. Okay, then when you search it, it will display the images which has SQL Server installed. You will see that now. Are you able to hear me properly, friends, or audio is breaking or something? Because I see some, it's very slowly loading. Is it same issue with audio and video?
No. We are able to hear properly from your voice.
Okay, thank you, Pawan. Thank you. Sometimes it will not respond. Let's search something. Again, let me. Yeah, now come down. See here, SQL Server 2019, SQL Server 2019. So these are on Linux missions. So this is on Windows mission. Windows mission is very easy for us to handle, right? So that's why we need to select the Windows mission. In this, if you click here, you have different like different options, right? You just select this one, SQL Server 2019 Enterprise on Windows Server 2019 database engine only. If you select this, Windows Server 2019. So whatever option you want to select, you can select. But basically, I'm going with this SQL Server 2019 Enterprise on Windows Server 2019. Okay, just to click on this. I think it's loading very slowly today. Somehow we managed to create everything. Select again. Let's select. It is not selecting. Yeah, it's selected. The image came now. So this is the image I'm using. The image size, you can see, if you want to take another size of the VM, example 4 cores and 28 GB memory, you can take it. The cost will increase. You see, per month I am paying 9,000. Here it will be per month, it will be 25,000. Based on your configuration, if you are using 2 cores and 8 GB memory, cost will be 9,000. If you use 4 cores and 28 GB memory, it will be 25,000 rupees. So I just go with the small configurations. Then I need to set the username and password. This username and password is basically a Windows credentials. I'm repeating every time. These are a Windows credentials, friends. Okay, to connect to this particular VM, you can also connect to the SQL server with these credentials. Yes, I just typed my password and confirmed password. Port is RDP, okay, remote desktop. Okay, click this. All these things leave as is because we are not worrying about what kind of days, what kind of network configurations we have. But in real time, network configuration will be used by the client network. Okay, so advanced SQL Server. So here SQL Server configuration, you see not only Windows authentication, there is another type of authentication you can use when you are connecting to your SQL Server. So when you are connecting to SQL Server, if you want to use another type of authentication, that is a SQL authentication, you can enable this and you can set the username. Here I am like every day I am just saying this username is Cloud Pandit Admin. Cloud Pandit Admin. I will say it's a Cloud Pandit Admin. Password is same. Remaining things I will keep as is. Just click to press create. This is also 12 rupees per hour. Just click create. Okay. I'm just creating this as well. Okay, fine. So let's finish creating all the resources that we need. Okay, so then we will go and discuss about our slides. Okay, fine, come here. Can you tell me what are the other resources we need, at least from your knowledge? What is the basic resource that we need?
Linked service, data factory, pipeline.
Service, when you will create, Murli? Will create after data factory. Okay, so high level resources,
Yeah.
what resources? Data factory.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's create data factory. Then what else we need? Let's create data factory.
We need to create that IR.
Okay, so see, subscription is free trial. Resource group is, this is the one I'm using, and my data factory name I will say Cloud Pandit on-premise ADF V2. I mean to say Cloud Pandit ADF V2. Let's give today date so that it will be unique. Okay, it will be unique. Git configuration I will configure it later. Click review plus create. So it is going to validate all the details. Running final validation. If it is everything is fine, then we can create it. So what is the other resources that I will create? We need Azure
Azure
Key Vault or
Keyboard.
not? We need Key Vault or not? Yes, we need Key Vault. Remember, friends, we need a Key Vault. Let's create the Key Vault as well. Yes, that we need to do within the VM, not here. Yeah, we need to go inside data factory. We need to create a self-hosted integration runtime. Then we need to install that in a VM. So all these things we will do later. But high level, I need a Azure Key Vault now. Data factory is ready. Azure Key Vault I need to create. Just click on Key Vaults. Click Add. So this is the resource group. Azure Key Vault name is Cloud Pandit AKB. AKB you can say 1203. If I give the date at the end, it will be unique. Okay. So east to west standard access policies. So let's add our data factory name here. Okay, click add access policy. So let me give full permissions to my data factory. Now I need to select data factory, but what is my data factory name? Go to resource. So this is your data factory name. Copy this name, go into access control, select this particular data factory name. Select it, select then come down, click add this particular data factory, click review the state. It is going to validate, running final validation. Created. So till here, you know, these are the services we need. This is my source, on-premise SQL Server. Data warehouse is my target. By using Azure Data Factory, I am moving data from SQL Server to the data warehouse. Why we are using keyword? To store our secrets securely. Secrets is nothing but a username, password, all those things. If you want to store securely in the cloud, we are going to use the Azure SQL Service. But apart from these things, we need one more resource today that you may not expect, that I will tell you. We may take blob storage or data lake storage Gen 2. The reason is, whenever you are loading data from on-premise SQL Server to the data warehouse by using polybase, you need to use something called staging layer. You need to load data into intermediate layer. That layer can be a blob storage or data lake storage Gen 2. So let me just create data lake storage Gen 2 here. Data lake store. So how to create data lake storage Gen 2? You know, right? Storage account. Let's go to the storage accounts. Click on storage accounts. So I'll just go and create the data lake storage Gen 2. Click add to create the data lake storage Gen 2. Create storage account. See free trial. And research group is this, the research group, and storage name I will say cloud funded storage v2, cloud funded ADLS storage v2. I think the name is very big. ADLS v2 name is fine. It should be a storage v2. You know, other configuration we discussed multiple times. Come to advanced here, you need to enable the hierarchical namespace. Then click preview plus create. Running final validation, then click create. It's a storage account. Now I deployed all the resources, friends. Now, okay, I deployed all the required resources. Let me go back to the slides. So I hope everybody is aware what all services, what all resources I have provision. Data warehouse, on-premise SQL Server. For that, I have created virtual machine. Inside virtual machine, I have a SQL Server. That SQL Server is nothing but an on-premise SQL Server. Now this is a data factory I have created, key vault I created, data lake storage Gen 2 I have created. Okay, let's go to our slides now. So in today's session, we want to load data from on-premise SQL Server to the Azure Synapse. For that, we created SQL Server and we also created the Azure Synapse. That is nothing but a, I think name has changed to dedicated SQL pool. Fine, but that is previously known as Azure Synapse. So I just included Azure Synapse. Okay, fine, that's okay. You can able to tell. It's nothing but a data warehouse. Okay, we will learn today scenarios. What is on-premise SQL Server? What is Azure Synapse? What is polybase? Okay, estimations, prerequisites, required resources. Then we are going to see demo. Demo is nothing but we are going to see how to set up on-premise SQL Server or to connect to the cloud services. Then we are going to see how to create Azure Synapse. Okay, that is nothing but the name has changed again and again. I am repeating. It's a dedicated SQL pool now. Then install self-hosted IR. We will see how to install self-hosted IR. Creating the Azure Data Factory v2. We have already done it. Then we will go inside Data Factory. We will create the linked service, which is going to take the credentials from the key vault. Then I need to create a SQL Server linked service with key vault using integration runtime. Here I need to use the self-hosted integration runtime whenever I'm connecting to the SQL Server. Let's create a datasets pipeline, run pipeline with the trigger. I will use schedule trigger to trigger. And finally, I will monitor this particular pipeline. So what are the scenarios? Copying multiple tables from on-premise SQL Server to Azure Synapse, we are going to see how you can load. Then copying multiple tables from on-premise SQL Server to the Azure Synapse with polybase. So here without polybase, how you can load, with the polybase, how you can load, we are going to see. Then setting up self-hosted integration runtime, how you can set up your self-hosted integration runtime in the Azure Data Factory. Then setting on-premise SQL Server, how you can set up your on-premise SQL Server, because if you have SQL Server available in your local machine, that's okay. Otherwise, we need to set up the SQL Server in a virtual machine to understand this lab. But in real time, you have for your client missions. In client missions, you'll have a SQL Server. Next, connect to on-premise SQL Server from Azure SQL Server Management Studio by using SSMS. We are going to connect to the on-premise SQL Server. Next, connect to cloud from on-premise using ADF key or register IR with key. So once you install the IR, we need to take the key from the Azure Data Factory. With this key, we need to register self-hosted IR. Then that particular self-hosted server, that is nothing but that particular node will be connected to the cloud services. Then how to handle failure scenario? So example, first time when I run pipeline, let's say 3 tables succeeded. Next time, when I run next time, remaining, let's say I have total 5 tables. Out of 5, when I run first time, 3 tables succeeded, 2 got failed. When I run next time, it should pick only those 2 tables. Those 2 tables it should run. If everything is succeeded, then I need to reset the status to ready to execute. All these are again ready for execution. All these are ready for reload again, because all tables you loaded for today. When you run next day, it should start loading everything again. So for that, what we need to do is status column from success to ready. You need to reset. How you can reset all those things, I have stored procedures. I will show you. We can do that. Next, how to load only failure tables from second execution. This is what I mean. So out of 5, 3 tables succeeded, 2 got failed. When you execute second time, it should pick only the failure tables, not all the tables. How to maintain metadata? So as we seen yesterday, we have maintained our metadata in on-premise. Today we will see how to maintain metadata in Azure Synapse in the cloud. Okay, fine. So self-hosted integration runtime. What is self-hosted integration runtime? Self-hosted integration runtime is nothing but an infrastructure so it's nothing but a compute infrastructure. Integration runtime is nothing but a compute infrastructure. There are 3 types of integration runtimes. One is Azure IR, second one is self-hosted IR, third one is SSIS IR. You know, Azure IR means whenever you are moving data within the cloud. Self-hosted IR is nothing but a self-hosted integration runtime use infrastructure and hardware managed by you. If it is Azure IR, managed by Microsoft. If it is self-hosted IR, we need to manage. You take care of all the installation, maintenance, patching, scaling, but you also pay for the time you use it with Azure Data Factory. So you are going to take care of everything. You know all these things because we were doing since last few days. Self-hosted integration runtime can access resource in both public and private networks. So you can use self-hosted integration runtime to connect to your cloud services as well as to connect to your on-premise services. But we will use Azure IR to access the public resources, public data. Okay, next. A self-hosted integration runtime works like a gateway. You install the integration runtime on a machine inside a private network. That's what we are doing. So my virtual machine is there in a private network. In that virtual machine, I'm going to install my IR. That will work as a gateway to communicate with the Azure Data Factory. Okay, it will communicate with the Azure Data Factory, meaning your node will communicate with the cloud services. We discussed all those things. Overview diagram we have seen. See, this is a cloud, this is on-premise. So whenever you are moving data from cloud to on-premise or on-premise to cloud, you need to use a self-hosted IR. If you're moving data within the cloud, it's a Azure. If you want to execute some SSIS packages in the cloud, Azure SSIS. But I have a virtual machine. In this virtual network, I have some SQL server. From that SQL server, I want to move data into the cloud. Then you need to use a self-hosted IR. Self-hosted IR you need to use. Clear? Is this clear to all of you? Next.
Clear.
So setting up on-premise to cloud connection, as you know, we have an on-premise. In on-premise and here we have a cloud. Now from on-premise to cloud, I need to connect. So on-premise is nothing but I have launched VM. We already done it. Now in this VM, you know, you'll have a SQL server, and then so once I connect to the VM, I will install the IR and I will register with the cloud key. How to get the cloud key is in cloud, you will create the Azure Data Factory. From the Azure Data Factory, you will take the key and registered with this particular IR, then you can able to establish the connection from on-premise to the cloud. Now I will have a Azure Synapse. From this VM, I should be able to connect to the Azure Synapse. Okay, clear, friends? That is nothing but a data warehouse. Fine. Now data flow diagram. See, I have a lookup, multiple tables, right? Multiple tables means lookup. You will use lookup. Create data set to refer to a metadata table. It will refer metadata table. Metadata table will have source and the sink information. What is the source table? So into which table it should load data. So I have a source at cust and target side cust. From cust to cust I need to load. I have a source at EMP. The data I need to load it into EMP. I have a sales. I want to load that data into sales. I have order table, order data I want to load it into order. So I have all this information. I will pass it to the for each activity, something like this. At the rate activity of lookup dot output dot value item equal to 4. So because I have 4 items, these 4 items I will pass it to the get metadata activity one by one. So get metadata activity, it has dynamic parameters, dynamic dataset parameter. Okay, these dataset parameters will take the table names dynamically. First, this get metadata activity dataset will accept a cust table. It will check whether this table is existed or not. Based on that, it will send the report to if activity. Okay, that result it will send it to the if activity. If activity will check whether exist parameter return to true or false. If exist parameter return to true, if condition evaluates to true, you have a true. Okay, if condition evaluates to false, we have a false. There are two choices, true and false. Now if you have this condition evaluates to true, inside true you can use the activities like copy activity. Okay, so I will execute copy activity. If copy activity succeeded, I will execute the some stored procedure which is going to update the status in my metadata table. So first table is cust. I will copy successfully, then status against this particular cust table I will give it as a succeeded. Okay, next EMP. I have a next table is EMP. When I say EMP, if it is a failed, then I am not doing anything. Even I don't want to execute activity. If you want to execute some activity or if you want to do anything, you can able to do, but I don't want to touch anything in my false. But if you want to check it whether false is really executing or not, if condition evaluates to false, you can use the wait activity. Wait activity is basically accept some seconds. So based on your configuration, it will wait that much seconds. Now let's imagine you are passing first table that is cust. Metadata will check if it is exist or not. If it is existed, then it will return true. This true condition will be evaluated in the if activity. If activity evaluates to true, then it will go into true condition and it will execute these things. Now EMP table. This EMP table is not available. It will return false. So overall condition also will give false and the false activities will execute. Third one is get metadata activity received sales, that is available. It will return true. So if condition evaluates to true, then it will execute true activities. So next order table, it is not available order table, so it will be returned false, and here overall condition will be false, then it will execute false activity. Okay, something like that you can able to do. So after that overall pipeline, if it is succeeded, I want to send a notification. If it is overall pipeline is failed, I want to send a notification. You know how you can do that, right? We discussed all those things. Even after copy activity, you can take the pipeline logs as well. So each and everything we discussed. So we will see copy data from on-premise SQL Server to the Azure SQL DW data warehouse. Okay, on-premise SQL Server. You see here we have a SQL database, on-premise SQL Server. In that we can create the databases. Once I create a database, let's say I have a cust table. So you'll have Azure SQL Server. In that you will have Azure Synapse Analytics. That is nothing but a data warehouse. Now I will create linked service. I will connect to the SQL database, on-premise SQL database, SQL Server, and I will read the cust table. And I will copy activity. I will use to copy data into the SQL data warehouse. So in SQL data warehouse, what is the table, into which table you want to load? For that, you need to create output data set to refer the output table, and to refer that particular table to write data into Azure Synapse, you need to connect to the Azure Synapse. Okay, then you can able to execute the pipeline. It will load this particular custody data into your Azure Synapse. But Now you can, how you can do this by using Azure self-hosted integration runtime we are going to do, and who will manage? Data Factory will manage all of these things, as you know. Now, so how Azure Synapse will work with polybase? Okay, Synapse with polybase. You see, you have a data sources, your Azure Synapse Analytics. Your data sources Azure Synapse Analytics. This Azure Synapse Analytics, okay, credentials I will store it in a keyword. Then I will create a staging layer that may be your blob storage or data lake storage. If it is a blob storage keys also I will store it in a Azure keyword. Okay. Now we are using staging layer as a blob storage. So blob storage credentials, Azure Synapse Analytics credentials, all those credentials I will store it in a Azure keyword. Now I will create the Azure Data Factory. From Azure Data Factory, I want to connect to the Azure keyword to read these credentials before I connect to these resources. I will connect to the Azure keyword. So once I connect to the Azure keyword, I can able to retrieve the username and password, and then I can able to read data from the Azure Synapse Analytics. This is with polybase. See, when I'm reading data from Azure Synapse data warehouse into my data factory, how I'm reading, friends? I need to connect to the Azure Synapse through the blob storage. Data will be loaded into a staging or intermediate layer, that is nothing but a blob storage. Once data is loaded into blob storage, from there data will come into the data factory. In the same way, from data factory, we want to write some data. Let's say data factory got data from the on-premise SQL server. That data I want to write it. So that data also, with the help of these credentials, it should write data into the staging layer, that is blob storage. From there, data will be written to the Azure Synapse Analytics. You understood? Data is not writing directly into the Azure Synapse. It is writing through the blob storage. It's a staging layer. Now, the staging layer can be blob storage, or it can be a data lake storage gen 2. Now, you see data source is Azure Synapse. You will store these credentials in keyword. Now, staging layer can be a data lake storage. Now, data lake storage credentials, I will store it in Azure keyword. Again, my data factory will connect to the keyword. It will take that username and password, and it will read data from the Azure Synapse. In the same way, with the help of these credentials, it will connect back to the Azure Synapse Analytics for writing the data. But this time, my data factory is writing and reading data from the data lake storage as an intermediate layer. This is intermediate layer. Synapse data will be loaded or will be read from the Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 because it's a staging or intermediate layer. Why we are using this? The reason is it will be very, very fast to load data for reading data from Azure Synapse into the Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Okay, that's the reason we are using the staging layer. Friends, this is nothing but a polybase. Okay, you will get the high throughput. Next. So it's a multiple tables. I'm going to create these tables: EMP table, product table, customer table, sales table, and orders table. So once I create all these 5 tables, then I will insert the record, something like this. Insert in the EMP table these 2 records. Product table, I will insert these 2 records. Customer table, these 2 records. Sales table, I will insert these 2 records, and orders table, I will insert these 2 records. These are the source tables I will maintain in my on-premise SQL server. Next, metadata table. This is my metadata table. Create table, metadata, source table name, destination table name, whether is active or inactive. If it is disabled equal to 1 means it's a inactive. Status, whether it's a ready to execute or it's a failed or it's a succeeded. So status we need to maintain. Example, see now I'm going to insert these 5 tables records here. So out of which sales table is inactive. The disable equal to 1, meaning sales table is inactive. The status is ready. The status is ready. It's clear. Okay. So stored procedure, you see here, create proc metadata underscore USP status and varchar. Here you see this is the stored procedure name. These are the stored procedure parameter: status and the table name. As begin update metadata, set status equal to @status, where source table name equal to @table. After that, see, after executing each table status, I am also going to fire one more query to check something here. Update metadata, set status to ready. I am just updating the status to ready for all the tables when meaning here we are going to use a where condition, where not exist, when there is no record returned. Okay, So see here, select a star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to fail. Okay, when I see the status equal to ready or status equal to fail, if I see for any record status is ready or fail, okay, if I get 0 records for this, 0 records from this result subquery, select star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to fail. If I get 0 records, if I get 0 records means what it means? So all the tables are succeeded. So all the tables are succeeded. That's why there is no record with ready, there is no record with fail. So that's why all records are succeeded. Then I will get count is 0. When I get count 0, not exist parameter returns true. When this condition is true, status for all the tables will be changed to ready. Status for all the tables changed to ready, friends. Is it clear to all of you? You want me to explain once again?
Yeah, can you explain about not exist?
Yeah, not exist, basically what happens, let's say here, if you are getting 0 records from the subquery means select star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to fail. Can you tell me our condition, what our condition is going to do? Our condition, either of these, if the status is ready or failed, I need to get the records. When I try to get the records, if the status for all the records in metadata is succeeded, then what is the result I will get from my subquery? That is select star from metadata where status is ready or status is failed. What is the count I will get? Tell me, friends, what is the count I will get when all the records are succeeded state?
0.
Very good, 0. So 0 records I will get. When 0 records you get, not exist will return true. Not exist will return true if the subquery returns 0 records. If the subquery returns some record, not exist returns false. Now what it means, let's imagine out of 5 tables, 3 tables succeeded, 2 tables got failed. Now when you fire subquery, what you will get? You will get 2 records, isn't it? Because status equal to fail, there are 2 records. When you got some value here, not exist will return false. When this is false, you are not resetting the status to ready for all the tables. You are keeping status as it is. Clear? Or you want me to explain once again? Please let me know. I can explain once again.
Yeah, clear, Malaya.
For all the failed states, we are updating the ready state again.
No. If it is a failed, see, if all the tables, let's say first time I have 5 tables to process. Out of 5 tables, 3 tables successfully loaded, 2 tables got failed. When I run second time, what I need to do? I just have to pick only the tables which got failed. 2 tables got failed. In second run, if 2 tables also succeeded, now what is the status of all the 5 tables? Succeeded, isn't it? Now, when the status of all the tables is succeeded, I want to reset the status from success to the ready. Again, next day, these all tables I should be ready to execute, right? I need to execute all these things again. That's why now I need to reset the status when all the tables got successfully loaded. Clear, Pawan?
Yes, Malay.
Estimations. So you know estimations, we need a one linked service for our on-premise SQL Server and the linked service for Azure Synapse. How many data sets we need based on the reference points? We need the data sets. How many activities? One copy activity is required to copy data from SQL Server to Azure Synapse. How many pipelines? I will use single pipeline. What type of IR we need to use to copy data from SQL Server to Azure Synapse? That is self-hosted integration runtime. Prerequisite, what is Azure Synapse? We already aware what is data lake storage gen 2, what is SQL Server, what is key vault, schedule, trigger, data factory, integration, runtime types, link to service, data set, activities, and the pipelines. So all these things we discussed in details. Okay. Now required resources are SQL Server, we already created, isn't it? Azure Synapse we already created, data lake storage gen 2 we already created, key vault I created, data factory 2 also I created. So all these required resources we have already available. Okay, clear friends? These are the slides I have. Let's quickly jump into our this one. Now we have virtual machine available. Just click on go to resource. So how to connect to this virtual machine? We need to open the remote desktop. Okay, so just click remote desktop connection. So here we need to provide our system IP address. What is our system IP address? Come here. This is our public IP address. Just copy it and paste it here. Click connect. So here you need to enter the username and the password. Okay, let me just enter username and let me enter the password. These are what credentials? These are Windows credentials. The same username and password I can use to connect to the SQL server. When I want to connect to the SQL server through the Windows authentication, I don't need to re-enter the credentials. Whatever credentials I am entering now, these credentials only will be reused to connect to the SQL server. Okay, with this, click connect, click OK, click yes. So now you will be able to connect to the you will be able to connect to the Windows machine. Now in this Windows server we have a SQL server, right? So let's see one by one. Okay, we are here now. First thing that we need to do in this particular server, what we need to do, friends, we need to turn off some security firewalls. Okay, see here we have server manager. Once server manager is open, you can go to local server. There we need to turn off some security enhancement things. Okay, let's cancel this. Go to local server. Click on IA enhanced security configuration. Click on this. Turn off this. Click OK. After that, you just click cancel. Okay, I don't want this SQL server. I just turned off. Click OK. That's all. Right now, from your start button, you can search with SSMS. See, SQL Server Management Studio is there. Double click on that, it will open. Okay, meanwhile, before it while it is opening, I will come to Notepad. Here I just kept all my source tables. See, these are my source tables: EMP, product, cost, sales, order. Okay, so all these 5 tables I will create in my source. From here I just copied all these things. Okay, I just copied all these things. See, I'm just copy. Now SQL Server Management Studio is open. Then I will paste it and will execute it. But we know in this SQL Server we will have a only server. What we need to do is we need to create a database. In the database we need to create all these tables and insert records into those tables. Let's wait. So you see it is opening. Okay, yes, it opened. Now it will give one pop-up. Okay, so directly you will get this pop-up. It will take this server name if the server is available in this Windows server local. Then it will connect through the Windows authentication. Windows authentication means you can see username is same, password also it will take whatever username and password we have used to log in into this mission, right? Click connect. This is how you can able to connect to the this particular SQL server. Otherwise, right click on this, disconnect. There is another way. Just click connect, click database engine. Here you see SQL server authentication. You can use this. and username, I will say username is, yeah, for this, if you remember, we have created username as Cloud Pandit admin, and this is the password. Enter. Oh, spelling mistake. Cloud Pandit admin. Just click on it. See, I am able to connect in another way also. Now expand this databases. You see, you don't have any database which you have created. I want to create my own database. Right click on this server. Here you have a new query. Just click on new query. Window will open now. In this window, you can able to find the all queries. Let's say I want to create a database. First thing is I want to create a database. Create database Cloud Pandit DB. Okay. Let's execute it. It's completed successfully. Keep cursor somewhere here, just click here, it will be commented. Now what I need to do, see, whatever I create tables, whatever I want, I am trying to do now. Okay, if I paste all these lines of code which we have copied, right? So what happens is all these things will create in a master branch. See here, it is showing master branch. I want to change from master branch to my own database which I have created. Just click on drop down, you see here Cloud Pandit DB. You can just select like this, otherwise you can use a command saying that use the database Cloud Pandit DB. That's how you can able to use the command as well. But let's go with the easy step, that is just in the drop down you select on whatever database you want to work. So now I selected Cloud Pandit DB. When I create these 5 tables, when I insert records into those tables, all these data tables will be created in which database? Cloud Pandit DB. Just select all these things, click execute. Now you see 5 tables created, 2 rows, everything is like 5 tables created and records inserted into respective tables. Now you see you have a database. If you expand this database, click on tables, you will see 5 tables which we have created. But in our previous session, we maintained metadata in a on-premise. So today I will maintain metadata in my cloud. Okay. So one step is finished with respect to the on-premise. We set up the SQL Server. Now we need to install the self-hosted integration runtime. How to install? Just click on this Internet Explorer. Click here. Click Ask Me Later. So here I can say download self-hosted integration runtime. Click on download Azure Data Factory integration runtime. It's a download page. Directly it came download page. Come here, click on download. Select the latest version. This is the one. Click next. See here, it is asking you to allow once. Yes, click allow once, so that from the Microsoft website it will download this, and you are allowing this particular download. So just click allow once. Just click the allow once. So now it is going to download, but do you want to save the software, or once the download is finished, you want to run the do you want to start the installation? If you want to start the installation after downloading, just click run. Okay, that's what I want. I just click run. So now it will download. Once the download is finished, it is going to start installing. Just go to view downloads. By the time we go, so that software it will download and it will start installing. Okay, it's a little bit slow. See, it is already finished downloading, so started installing also. Okay. So it is preparing to install. Click next. So I accept the terms of the license. Click next. Install. So it is going to install. We know it is going to take 1 to 2 minutes to install. Let's wait 1 to 2 minutes, friends. Once installation is finished, what we need to do, friends, we were doing since last few days. Can you tell me what I need to do once installation is finished?
We need to register the key.
Very good. So we need to register the key, but that particular key I need to get it from where? Okay, this particular whatever key I want to register here, that key I need to get it from the Azure Data Factory.
Malaya, like in real time, how about the self-hosted integration, yeah, it will be auto install, right? Automatically.
No. You need to install. Infra team, they will install.
Oh, every time we
Now,
need to.
just what is self-hosted? I clearly mentioned hardware provisioning will be like hardware, everything will be managed by client, and installation, everything will be taken care by installation, maintenance, patching, everything will be taken care by the client. That's what I said. So here
No,
we are the
yeah, I got
users.
that. I got that point, Malaya. What I mean to say is, as a Azure ADF developer, so all these things we need to do.
So as a Azure Data Factory developer, you need to be aware of all these things, but installation will be done by your infra team. If your linked service is failing, so you should be able to understand why it is failing. Okay, maybe issue with integration runtime, it has not updated. So those all things you need to take in care. That's why you need to have all the dependency things you should know. It's not mandatory, but if you know these things, it will be easy for you to debug some kind of issues.
Yeah, got it, got it. Just for my awareness. Okay.
Yeah. So in the interview also people will ask how to install all those things because you should know all these things. But for
Today,
creating data, creating storage account, those things you no need to take care of. So those
yeah.
things completely taken care by the infra team.
Today, one of my friend attended the interview. They asked the question of how to you do the setup of self-hosted integration here. Tell me the steps and all, like how you will configure, connect, and all the
So
steps
they
they
will
ask.
ask, that's why, right? So every day I'm just explaining again and again. So you will have some clarity. At least when you watch 3 or 4 times, you will come to know what all steps we need to take in care to install this particular self-hosted IR. So that's what I'm saying. You should know this particular self-hosted IR. But for creating resources, if somebody asks how to provision Databricks, you can tell I know, but I practice myself. But in real time, I'm not doing. You have to tell. You say, yeah, in real time also I only provisioned. Then they will come to know easily. Okay, this guy simply learned and came.
Got it, got it. Actually, with that, I came to know like how important is practicing. Actually, usually sometimes you will just watch the videos, but
It is very slow today. Okay, now it is asking me to enter the registration key. That key we need to go to the portal. You go to Azure Data Factory, click on Author and Monitor tab. Click on Manage tab. Go to Integration Runtime. It's a default integration runtime. Okay, let's create a new integration runtime. Click on Azure and self-hosted. Click Continue. So what type of IR we need to create? Self-hosted. Click Continue. So integration runtime means you need to say here cloud funded self-hosted IR. Click Create. Now, once you create it, it will generate the two keys. You can use any of these keys. So as of today, we are using key 1, right? Let's take key 2. You can use any key to register. Okay, let's paste it here. then click register. Click finish. So it is connecting to the cloud services, initializing the integration runtime node components. Please wait, this may take a few seconds. So it will be finished within a 20 seconds, we know that. Okay, it is finished. Click launch configuration. You see self-hosted node is connected to the cloud services. Okay, you just close all of these things now. Come here, click close, refresh this. So this particular self-hosted IR currently running. Let's go to see our on-premise is set up. Now let's go to the data warehouse. Just click go to resource. All our metadata stored procedures we need to maintain in a data warehouse. Okay. Now I need to connect to the data warehouse. For that, first open Azure Data Studio. But in real time, we won't use Azure Data Studio for data warehouse, SSMS for your on-premise SQL server. We will have a SSMS installed in your mission. So by using SSMS, you will connect to both. Or you can use Azure Data Studio to connect to both the resources from like from on-premise SQL server data warehouse. With both of the resources, you can able to connect it from the this Azure Data Studio. Okay. Fine. And just click add a connection. Just click add a connection. So what type of connection? Microsoft SQL Server connection, right? Microsoft SQL Server connection. Click here. So you got the Microsoft SQL Server. Here I need to paste my server name, right? How you will get it? Come here. This is the data warehouse overview page. From here, take this server name, put it here. But before you take this, what you need to do is you need to turn on the firewalls. Okay, come down, click on firewalls in virtual network. Click add client IP. See client IP added. Allow Azure services resources to connect to this server. It is fine now. Come to overview. Copy server name once again. Go back here. Paste your server name. So it's not a Windows authentication. I want to use SQL authentication. Username. Let me enter here. Password is this. Data warehouse name is this is the one. Okay. Take this one and put the data warehouse name here and click connect. Okay. So it is connected. Okay, it is connected. Okay. We are here. It is connected. Now what you need to do, just click on new query. Okay. Here you see select database. So data warehouse is automatically selected. Okay. Now come here. What you can do is, so let's create the tables. Okay, let's create the metadata table and stored procedure. Okay, for that metadata table, I just kept it here. So this is the metadata table. So as we discussed, metadata we want to maintain where? We want to maintain it in our cloud. Okay, that's why I'm just creating this. Click run. Another occurred near, yeah. So as we discussed yesterday, right? So this syntax will not work in data warehouse. What you need to do, we need to put something like this. Just remove all these things. Let's execute now. Now you see 5 records inserted, 5 records affected, one row, one row, one row. Total you see 5 records affected. Now just to check what is the data we have in this. Select a star from metadata and run it. See, all these things are ready. Okay, now I want to create a stored procedure. Bring this stored procedure as well. Okay, so in this stored procedure, you see one thing. Create procedure name, status and table name. So I am passing the status and table name. Whenever you process for, let's say EMP table is copied successfully from on-premise SQL server to the data warehouse, then you need to say this EMP table status is succeeded. So when you pass those two details dynamically, I will update in a metadata saying that status is succeeded for EMP table. Likewise, every time when you sending, like let's say all other tables succeeded but product table got failed, now status you will update it as a failed for product and all other things are succeeded. Okay, you see all these are succeeded but only this thing is failed. Now when this is failed, when this condition is failed, any one of this record is failed, remember here I am taking something, select a star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to fail. So we have a one status is failed record or not. Yes, when this query is returned at least one record, then here not exist parameter will return false. But when where clause is written false, nothing is going to happen in this. In this update query, nothing is going to change in metadata table. Now let's imagine all these tables are succeeded. Okay, all these tables are succeeded. Now you check, select a star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to failed. There is no record with the status failed and ready. All status are succeeded now, right? So in that case, I will get 0 records. When I get 0 records, it will return true. When it is returned true, I am going to update status from succeeded to ready. Again, I am keeping all the records to ready to process again. Okay, that's how I am creating this stored procedure. Let's click create. So we know here we will have some issues. Again, we need to fix those issues, right? So the issues that we need to fix is, you see, first parse error at line number 5. I think let's do one thing. Yesterday I have waited, right? Okay, fine. So let's fix this issue itself. Now why it is saying update incorrect syntax near update metadata set status equal to ready where not exist, select star from metadata where status equal to ready or status equal to fail. Okay. Now I'm just typing everything. You know, sometimes issue with the typing. So let's type everything, whatever we have done. Metadata set status equal to ready where not exists, select star from metadata where status not equal to, so one easiest way is you can say not equal to success. Instead of writing those many statements, you can say simply let's see now it is going to succeed or not. Select this and run it. It is successfully created. It is created successfully, right, friends? Fine. Now let's test this particular stored procedure, the behavior of the stored procedure. For that, what we need to understand first, now current data, let's look at the current data. Select star from metadata. Currently everything is ready. Now I'm going to call this stored procedure. See, I'm just calling this stored procedure by passing the status as success. Okay, and let's say I'm just passing status as success for EMP. When I update success for one table, okay, nothing is going to happen on the status. The second query will not have any impact If you have only one table is succeeded, you see now. See, this is second query is 0 rows affected. It is not execute, like it is not modifying anything. Only first first update query has changed something. What it has changed? Go to select star from metadata to check what it has changed. It has updated status to success. Now manually, manually what I want. Okay. Manually, I will just update status for all the tables as successful except the product. Okay. Update metadata set status equal to success, where source table equal to product, where source table not equal to product. Just execute this. Now you see 4 rows affected, right? 4 rows affected. Okay. Let's let it be. Now you check select star from metadata. Now you see what happened here. See ready, sorry, success. Now this is a ready. If you have ready, then it will not execute. Like the second query will not execute even if you call now. Okay. Now let's say product table. I will say it is failed. It is failed. Now I'll say which table it got failed product table. Currently product table is processing, all other tables process successfully. Product table is processing, it got failed suddenly. Let's execute failed. I am updating failed, one row is affected. Now you check select star from metadata and it. Now you see success, failed, success. Okay. Next time when I ran, only it is going to pick product table. This time let's imagine it is succeeded. Success. Okay. Now you see when I make this also success, the overall, like for all these tables, status will be resetted to ready. Now you see 2 update queries will impact. See, this is updated from failure to success. When this first query updated from failure to success for the product table, then in entire table, the status of all columns, status of all the records are success. So when the status of all the records are success, then I'm resetting the status for all the rows. There are 5 rows, so all 5 rows affected. What I have done in all those 5 rows is I have resetted the status to ready, because if you run pipeline next, it is going to pick all the 5 tables, because when you run previously all these 5 tables loaded. When you run next time, in next run all these 5 tables should run again. That's why what I'm doing, I'm resetting the status. How many of you understood this? How many of you not clear on this, friends? This is very important. Yesterday also we discussed. Please let me know how many of you understood, how many of you not understood. Clear, everybody? Can you confirm quickly? Parmesh is clear. Rest of the people, Ram.
Yes. Yes, Malay. Yesterday itself I am cleared.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Right. So we have all these things, right? So very good. Now let's go and implement our pipeline. So we have all the details. Let's go to our Azure Data Factory. Okay. So data warehouse, we have in data warehouse we are maintaining basically metadata, and we have source tables in our on-premise SQL Server. Our goal is to copy all these on-premise SQL Server tables to the data warehouse. Now what happens? Once I copy these things into the data warehouse, tables will be created automatically. Auto create tables I will enable. So tables will be created automatically in our data warehouse. Okay. Now, when you come to the data factory, see, I already opened and I created the self-hosted IR. Now, one important thing before you go and create your linked services is we need to store all the information in our Azure Key Vault, all the required information. Go to resource, click on secrets. Let's click generate/import. Here name is, I can say SQL Server. You can say on-premise SQL Server PWD password. Okay, we'll say password. So that password I will enter here. Not 2 times because it should be very, very clear. Okay, I am just creating the on-premise SQL Server password. Next, we need to create the cloud SQL Server password. Okay, now I'll say cloud SQL Server password. Here I'll just put the SQL Server password. Click there. Okay. Next, for polybase, we are going to use the data lake storage gen 2. So I will go and create the one secret for your Azure data lake storage key. Just go to access keys. You know, you cannot use the connection string for data lake storage gen 2. That option is not available. You just have to refer the key from the Azure keyword. I copied the key. That key I will store it in our Azure keyword. Come here, generate / import. Here you can say ADLS key. I just paste that particular key here, then click create. So now you see I just kept all the information, all the required information in our Azure keyword. Now let's come back to Azure Data Factory. Let's go to linked services, then click new linked service. The first linked service we need to create is to Azure keyword. Azure keyword. Click on Azure keyword, click continue. This is what this is Azure keyword, right? So I will say LS for Azure keyword. And how you will establish connection subscription. You just select the keyword. This is the keyword, okay, which we want to connect. Test the connection. Connection successful. You can create it. So once you create keyword connection, you need to publish it before you use this particular keyword connection in any other linked service. I just publish. Let's wait for some 10 to 20 seconds. It will publish. So publishing is completed. Let's click new. First, let's connect to our source. Our source is SQL Server. Click SQL Server. Click continue. This is basically LS for SQL Server. LS. Yeah, you can say on premise. LS for on-premise SQL Server. So what type of IR we need to use? Self-hosted IR. Okay. Server name. What is the server name? You see Cloud Pandit VM is our server. Cloud Pandit VM. What is your database name? Let's go inside VM to see the database name. Go to SSMS. What is the database name, friends? Cloud Pandit DB. Okay, you need to understand that. Okay, I just enter here Cloud Pandit DB. Okay, it's a SQL authentication I want to use. What is the username? Username is, we know it's a my name. From Azure keyword, I want to read the password. So I already connected to the Azure keyword and I will refer the secret name. What is the secret name? Go here, not here. Go here. You see your on-premise SQL Server password. This is the secret name. Copy this, come here, paste this here, then test the connection. Let's test the connection once again. If it is failed, means I have not stored the password correctly. Yeah, basically I think I have stored wrong password. Let's click on this. Okay, click on that particular secret, delete the secret. Okay, let's create a new, like generate / import. Let me just save the password once again. You can say SQL Server. Click create now. SQL Server. My secret name is SQL Server. I entered correctly this time, because if you make any mistake when you are entering the credentials, right? So then automatically you are passing the wrong password. Like that. So you need to keep the correct password in the keyword. Now I kept the correct password. I hope. Still I am getting the issue. Sorry. I think username is Cloud Pandit admin, friends. You know, right? So let's test the. I think previously also we stored correct password only. So username is Cloud Pandit admin. Okay. So Cloud Pandit admin connection is successfully created. Okay, fine. So if at all, sometimes you may feed the wrong, you might have provided the wrong value to your secret. Let's say when you are creating secret, when you are entering your password, maybe instead of small, you might have entered a capital, right? So if you think something may be mistake in your secret, you just delete how we have deleted now, and you can able to create the new secret again with same name if you want to create, or with another name you want to create, whatever you can do. Everything, whatever you want to do, you can able to do. Okay, fine. Now we are creating the linked service for your on-premise SQL Server. Let's wait. Sometimes it will take more time. Clear, friends? Still here, everybody's clear? Okay, today I'm going a little bit slow. Sometimes we have to. It's created. Okay, fine. Let's click new again. Now we need to connect to our destination. Our destination is Azure Synapse. See Azure Synapse Analytics. Click on this. Click continue. This is what, friends? This is LS for Azure SQL DW. So we are going to use the auto result integration and subscription is this, server name is this, and database name is this one. Now SQL authentication I'm going to use here. The username is my name. Okay. Password we need to read it from the keyword, so you can use the existing keyword connection. Secret name. What is the secret name? You can see your data warehouse cloud SQL server password. Okay. Use this particular secret name and test the connection. Create it. Okay. Now, so you have a source connection and destination connection. We may need the connection to our Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 when we are using polybase. Let's connect to that as well. Gen 2. See Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Click continue. Is a linked service for ADLS Gen 2. Okay, auto resolve integration runtime, because that's a cloud service. Then account key enter manually, or subscription. From subscription, then it won't take anything from keyword. You need to say enter manually, then it will take at least storage account key from the keyword. Let's click Azure keyword. Select your keyword name here, like keyword connection, secret name. What is the secret name? You see, say ADLS key. Come here, just paste it. But now you see a URL. URL is https://accountname.dvfs.core.windows.net. Okay, go to storage account, take the storage name, come back to here. Here I will say https:// the storage name .dfs.core.windows.net. This is how you need to find the URL. Then test the connection. Connection successful, you can create it. So we created the linked service for all the things. See, now linked service is related to these three linked services. That's why it's a 3. Now come to author tab. As we discussed, first let's create a pipeline. Say EL for data, okay, SQL server to SQL DW. Okay, SQL Server to SQL DW. Just click something like this. Now, what is the first activity that we need to use for reading the metadata? We need to use the lookup activity. Just to bring the lookup activity. Say lookup on metadata. Go to settings. You see first row only. Now I don't want only first. I want everything. So uncheck this. Click new data set. So my metadata is available where, friends? In Azure Synapse. Let's create a like data set for Azure Synapse and text. Click continue. It's a data set for metadata. Otherwise you may confuse. TS for lookup. TS underscore. You can say metadata table, or you can say Azure SQL DW underscore lookup. The name I will say DS Azure SQL DW underscore lookup table. Okay, next linked service is this one. This is the data set name. This is my linked service table name. So do you want to select the table name? No. The problem is if you select table name, you cannot handle failure scenarios, because every time it is going to give you all the records irrespective of whether you have failure records or not. Okay, that's why I don't select table. Click OK. Now what I will do, I will fire a query. What kind of query I will fire is, I will say, if the table is already succeeded, then I don't want to take. So that's the select star from metadata where status not equal to success. Not equal to success. Where I have a status, status not equal to success. Example, if the status is ready, if the status is failed, I need to take those records for processing. But if the record status is success, I don't want to take such type of records. You understood? Now we know all the record status is currently ready, so you will get all the 5 records. Correct. Now this lookup output I need to pass it to the for each. Bring this for each, keep it here, then pass this lookup activity output to the for each. So for each item, come to settings. So you want to execute sequential or batch? Let's go with sequential. Items I need to pass it from the lookup. Okay, click add dynamic and come here, select this output dot value, right? Just click finish. Okay, so this is the for each activity. From lookup I passed everything to the lookup for each. From lookup output I passed to the for each as input. Before that I want to execute my lookup to see what is the output of lookup. Let's create a breakpoint and debug. Okay, let's go to output. So these are your items. This is one item, this is another item, another item, another item. All these items we have. Take all these items. Okay, let's put it here. Understood? This is the source table. This is the destination table. This is source table. This is destination table. You understood this? Now, if in this item, if I want to get the sales, what is the dynamic content I need to write? So every day we are repeating, but nobody is answering. To get this
Source table.
Source table.
dot source table. If I want to get this, then
Item dot.
very good. Item dot destination, right? So now I'm going to use same thing. Now you see, like remove this breakpoint, go inside item, go inside for each, because for each is going to give each record. First it will give this item, next it will give this item, next it will give this item. Okay, now in this for each I need to get metadata activity to check whether the source table exists in the source or not. Come to data set. Okay, let's click new data set. Basically we are checking whether table is existed or not in a on-premise SQL server. Okay, let's create a data set for SQL server. Clear, friends? We need to check whether table existed or not in a source. That's why I'm creating data set for SQL server. So SQL server, a data set for SQL server. and I need to say this is basically generic, because same data set I can use in a multiple places. Generic data set, you can use linker service. And see, table name I am not selecting because I need to pass table names one by one dynamically. Click OK. So let's pass table names dynamically. How to pass? Go to generic data set, go to parameters. You see here I'm going to state one parameter called source table. Okay, come to connection. Now click edit. Okay. So here the schema I am not taking from the table. Schema is only DBO schema I have. So that's why I'm just hard coding. But table names are going to change. First table maybe cust, next order, next product something. So table name dataset dot source table. So this parameter I'm using here. Then this, for this particular parameter I need to provide value. So it is waiting here. What I need to pass here? Can you tell me from this? What I need to pass here? Can you tell me, friends, what I need to pass here? At the rate item dot source table, isn't it? At the rate item dot source table. Copy this source table, click add dynamic content, come down. So this from for each, just click for each. So it will give item. In this item dot, I don't want everything. I want only source table name. So item dot source table. Click finish. Okay. Now this particular table information you are passing to this data set. This data set will select that table. But what you want to do by selecting that, I just want to check whether it is existed or not. If you open exist parameter, it will tell whether it is existed or not. Okay, let's click debug. As of now, whatever we have, what exist parameter, what get metadata is returning, we will see. This is for which table? You see, for which table? This is for sales table. What it has returned? You check what it has returned. It returned true. Okay. For next table, check what is the next table it has passed. It passed cust table. Whether cust table existed or not. Yes. Go here and check what it is returned true. Okay. Let's click on this. What is this table? This table is orders table. What is the status of this orders table? Let's check what it is saying. It is saying true. So we know all these 5 tables available. So get metadata is going to return true. Now just click here. See get metadata activity of get metadata output dot exist. You need to use to get this true. Okay. Let's go inside this for each. After get metadata, I need to check what get metadata is returning. So I will use if condition. Bring the if condition. Pass get metadata output to the if condition. Come here. This is the expression. What this expression is? Expression is very easy. You just have to say get metadata output. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, friends?
Yes, Malaya.
Okay, right. Oh, fine. So I have seen some disconnection. Okay, fine. Here you see if this exist parameter return true conditions like true activities will execute. If this exist parameter return false activities will execute. In true means table exists. If it is a table exists, I want to copy the data. Let's use the copy data activity. This copy data activity, what it is going to do, go to source. Let's select the generic data set. In this generic data set, you are already selecting the source table. Okay, so you just have to pass that item dot source table. You just click here, click on this. Yeah, you don't have anything at the rate item dot source table. Okay, you just say at the rate item dot source table. At the rate item dot source table, if you select this particular table, let's say you are passing cust. This cust table will be assigned to the dataset parameter which we have created in a generic dataset. Go to the generic dataset. Okay, this will be assigned to this. Then that table we are selecting here, dbo.cost, dbo.emp, dbo.order, dbo.product, something like that. One by one table I am selecting from source. I want to pass this one to the destination, that is sync is my Azure Synapse. Let's say Azure Synapse. Select Azure Synapse Analytics, click continue. This is what happens. This is DS for Azure SQL DW. Sync. This is basically sync. This is the linked service. And a table names here also, we should not we should not select a particular table. I need to create the table dynamically. Click OK. Now go to this sync data set. Create a parameter. This is a sync table. Sync table. This sync table I need to select here. Schema for these tables also DBO, and table name I need to pass it dynamically. Here you can see sync table. This is a sync table. Okay. Now come to SQL Server. Pipeline. Now you see sync table. It is waiting to pass the sync table value. So sync table I will say @item dot what you need to say destination. You need to pass destination. @item dot destination. Next, do you want to use polybase or bulk insert? I want to go with a bulk insert. Okay, so meaning without staging layer, without using polybase technology, and a table should create automatically. That's why I'm selecting auto create table. Okay, remaining things you can leave as this. Now once this copy activity succeeded, I want to call my stored procedure. This is going to be your success stored procedure. What I will do, the name of this I will give it as a S_SP success stored procedure. Come to settings where you have stored procedure in data warehouse, right? So use the data warehouse linked service. Then select your stored procedure. This is my stored procedure. Metadata_USP. Next, click on import parameters. Import. So status I will hard code. It is success, right? So I will say if it is success, I will pass my status as success. Okay. Next, if it is in case with the like a table name we need to pass it dynamically. So I am going to pass it my source table name. Add dynamic content. So you say simply here @item dot source table name. If you want to pass, you need to say source table, because the how you have created your stored procedure is it is going to accept your status and a table name. Come to here, see here, it is going to accept status and table name. This table name is against what? Source table. You are checking source table equal to this. Against that you update it. So I want to pass the source table. If it is a failed, I am updating success. Okay, now just clone this. I will just say this is a F_SP. It is basically failure SP, right? Failure stored procedure. I will say F_SP. Otherwise, you for good, right? So you can say failure stored procedure. You can say failure stored procedure, and here you can say success stored procedure. It will be good to understand, right? So that's why I just say this is basically a success stored procedure. This is a failure stored procedure. Come to failure stored procedure, click settings. So everything is same, only difference is status. I need to update it as a failed. If it is the table is failed, I need to update it as a failed. Okay. Now, like in false condition, I'm not using anything inside if. Go inside for. So we have a if. Inside if for true activities I have 3, but false activities I don't have. So I don't want to do anything if it is a false. Okay. With this, I want to execute my pipeline. Let's publish all. I want to schedule my pipeline. Okay. Click publish. So what is time now? You see 7:28. Let's create a trigger. Then I will republish because I don't want to make any change. Click new. This is a trigger one. Trigger one is going to call my pipeline at 7:30 a.m. Okay. Let's say it's a scheduled trigger. I want to allow my pipeline to call at 7:30 a.m. 7:30 a.m. It's IST. Okay, IST means Chennai. So every 15 minutes or once in a day. Once in a day. Next, specify an end date. Specify an end date means I will say, yeah, tomorrow, whatever time it may be. Okay, let it be some timing. Tomorrow time. Click OK. Okay, then click OK. So you just publish this one as well. Click publish. Now what happens? This particular pipeline will execute exactly within a 25 seconds. So meanwhile, this particular pipeline will publish for sure. Don't worry. Publishing will not take much time. We have 15 seconds only. 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah. So we have 9 seconds. Let's come to monitor tab. We'll see whether it is going to pick or not. So our pipeline started at 7:30 only, but it just took some time to refresh it here. See the run start time at 7:30 only. Just go inside this pipeline to see how the activities are executing. See our like lookup activity is executed successfully. Let's see now, refresh. For each is executed. How many items for each received? 5, because we have a 5 records. Now refresh this. See what is happening. It's a for each get metadata returned true. Here you see it returned true. That's why if condition executed, then copy activity succeeded. Okay, next, if condition is evaluating for another one. Yeah, sorry. So stored procedure. Why, how come? Shit, I just marked both the stored procedure for the success. For the success, I'm running both the stored procedure. That is wrong, right? Nobody, what friends, you are not seeing this. See, both are executing for the success. I should execute this for the failure scenarios. Right click on this, say failure, and I want to recreate the trigger, one more trigger. Let's create new trigger. Click trigger one. Let's edit this trigger itself. I want to trigger my pipeline again at 7:34, or let's trigger our pipeline at 7:33 itself. Click OK. Click OK. Let's publish 7:33. So we have 40 more seconds. Okay, within a 40 seconds, our pipeline will call one more time. See in our next time, so we will not have any issue. But let me just cancel this, because this is no use. There is no use of this one, right? That's all. Just cancel this. You just have a cancel the button. You just have to click on cancel. See, it's a canceling. Okay, but you see, like within 15 seconds, our pipeline will be called one more time. You understood the reason why I have canceled this and why I have rerun again. The reason is, so I am executing failure stored procedure and success stored procedure on success of the copy activity. So now I have changed the relation. So I am re-triggering my pipeline. So it's 7:33. It should run my pipeline now. Let's see. $7:33. Why our pipeline is not running? Come to author tab once again. Click on trigger. Click new/edit trigger. Check the timing again. 12:04. 7:33 a.m. one day. 7:33 end time is tomorrow. But why it did not trigger? I think it has published after this time. Okay, let me just publish for 7:35. Now the time is 7:34. Let's publish for 7:35. We'll see whether it's publishing is completing before that time or not. Yes, we have a lot of time. It should finish by that time. Here still it is publishing. Once it is published, that trigger will affect publishing. Yeah, it is published successfully. Now come to monitor tab. Okay, now 7:35 is scheduled, right? So we'll see at 7:35 our pipeline should run. Yes, 7:35 now. Shit. See, at 7:35 our pipeline is running. 7:35 our pipeline is started running. Our pipeline started running. Okay, clear? So it is running. Go inside this. This time you see if the copy activity is successful, only success SP will execute. If copy activity is failed, failure, stored procedure will execute. See, copy activity succeeded, only success SP will execute. See, success stored procedure only executing, not failure stored procedure. Okay. Now, fine. But before that, let's check our for each item. So how many items it received? It received only 4. Can you tell me why? Because in our previous run, one table already succeeded. So such type of success tables it will not pick. That's why it has not taken the success. So let's see what all things it has written. So 4 items are EMP table, custom table, orders table, and sales table. But product table got succeeded previous run. In previously when we ran that time, like product table got successfully executed. That's why it is showing success for product table, and rest of the tables now it has passed. Okay. Anyhow, now you see again for which table. You see here the condition is it's a auto create table. So table will be created automatically. You see 1 copy activity executed, 2 copy activities executed, 3 copy activities executed. Get metadata. So our final copy activity is going to execute now. See our final copy activity is executing. Once it is executed, like it can say that your total pipelines got succeeded. Yes, pipeline, everything is finished. Now you see all activities got succeeded. For each also will show. Can you hear me now, friends? I think there
Yes,
is a
sir.
network
Yes,
issue.
sir.
Just keep fine. Now you refresh and check. So like everything is succeeded. See, pipeline is succeeded. Now come to like this tool, Azure Data Studio. Let's check the like metadata information, right? Select a star from metadata. New check. I think I just changed the network now, so it is asking you to set up those firewalls. Let's see, I just changed the network, right? That's why it is showing refresh all the tabs. Let's refresh all the tabs. And once the data warehouse tab came, you need to allow the firewalls once again. Let's come down here, firewalls. Click on firewalls, virtual networks. I think it should be same IP address. See, it says same IP address. Oh, sorry, it has changed 244. It's a 128 here. It's a 244. Let's add client IP. Click save. Fine. Now come here. It says select a star from metadata now. Now it has filed. Now you see it is ready, 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 ready. For all these tables, it is saying ready, ready, ready. Okay. Understood, friends? Fine. Now what I will do manually, I will reset these things. I will reset manually, meaning I will just say success for all the tables except the product. Select a star from metadata. Now you see success for all the tables and the only product table is not processed. Now when I run pipeline again, will it pick all the tables or will it pick only product table? We'll see that. Okay. Now come here. One more thing. Failed, like product table status, I will update it as a failed. Okay, let's update it as a failed. Run it. Select a star from metadata. Now you see the status is got failed. So whether it is failed or ready, both are same. Both are same means as per our lookup activity, if it is a ready or failed, it will pick that particular record. Okay. Now let's go to our cloud data factory. Okay, what you can do, you can rerun this same pipeline. Okay, otherwise you can come here. So it will take more time if you are keep on scheduling the trigger. Let's click trigger now. Click OK. Come to monitor tab. Refresh this. See, my trigger started at this time. Let's go inside. You see only one table data will come, that is product table. Let's check how many items you got. See, count is only one. Which table you got? Only product table record got. You received only the record which has status failed. For each received only one item, get metadata will check whether this table is existed or not. It's a true. Okay. What if condition? If condition evaluates to true, if get metadata return to true, so it is going to copy data. See, overall pipeline is succeeded already. Everything is succeeded. The copy activity status also succeeded. Okay, now you go back. So what it should be? It should be success, right? This is also success now because all these are success. We ran only this particular record. This is also status is success. But when I say select a star from metadata, what we will see the status? Will we see success or what will be the status? Can you tell me?
Ready. Ready status.
Ready, very good. Okay. See, ready. Okay. When I rerun, it is going to pick all these 5 tables. You understood this now, right? Clear, friends?
Clear, Malay.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, fine, friends. So now what we will do is we have all these 5 tables which are in a ready state, right? So what I wanted to do, as of now, we are loading data as how we are loading data. Data we are loading as a bulk insert. Now I want to use polybase. Okay, so we will see how to use polybase, but I will also explain you how you can connect to the data warehouse from query editor. If you have not installed any tool, you can use the query editor to connect to the your data warehouse, and you can able to do all the things. Okay, let's say you just enter password. See here you have a query editor, you just enter username and password. From here also you can able to query. See, you can able to see tables, stored procedures which you have created. See, all these tables got created. Now we just explain this to see this is the stored procedure which we have created. Where is that stored? See, metadata underscore USP which we have created. Now what I wanted to do, I want to drop all these tables before I create these tables by using polybase. Okay, drop table first output. We'll say it's drop table emp output, drop table orders, drop table prod output. Okay, next.
After that, you can remove T, Malaya. After orders, you can remove T.
Yeah, correct. Thank you. Let's select all these things, click run. Okay, it's dropped. Now refresh this, expand this tables list. So you don't have any other table like source table except your metadata table. Okay, except your
product
metadata.
spelling mistakes.
Product, it's not a product, it's just a prod output. Table name is prod output. Okay, it's not a mistake, it's a simply a prod output. Okay, prod output table. Okay, fine. Now I just dropped, I want to create these tables, load data from on-premise to this data warehouse by using polybase. Now it's not a bulk insert. With the bulk insert we have seen, right? Now come here, I will show you. See, whether you are using polybase or whether you are using bulk insert, that stored procedure behavior you understood. If it is a failed, it is going to pick only failed things, and it is once the failure tables are succeeded, then it will reset the status for all the tables as a ready. That you understood. Only thing that we need to change is copy data. How we will copy is only that will change. Come to sync. So this time it is a polybase. I want to use a polybase. Just select polybase. If you're using polybase, what you need to understand, you need to enable something called staging. Go to settings, come down, you see something called enable staging. Click enable staging. Okay, then here you can use the existing linked service which we have created. This is the linked service. You can use in this we have not created any containers. Let's create a container. Cloud Pandit. Staging data. Okay, I'm creating Cloud Pandit container. Inside that, I'm creating staging data container. Now let's click publish all. Once this is published, I will just like what I will do is I will just trigger directly. Let's execute pipeline. Okay, let's not create a schedule trigger. Let's create it directly. Okay, pedestal date triggers and all that. Okay, this is published. Publishing is completed. Now just click trigger now. Click OK. Come to monitor tab. See, we are at monitor tab. Our pipeline is started running. Okay, duration is 5 seconds. Go inside this. Like you started with get metadata activity. So now how many items it might have passed? It will pass total 5 items because all the items are ready now. That's why 5 items it is passing. Now come here, it is queued. Copy activity is queued. So it is in progress. Now refresh this. See, copy data one successful. Just click on this to understand how data is loaded. First, data is loaded from SQL Server to the data lake storage Gen 2. From there, data is loaded into the Azure Synapse and takes. Is it clear, friends? So status is still in progress. This is finished now. Okay, but data is not there here. It is not giving any statistics because data will be available here temporarily. Okay, next, it will write in a format that is required for your polybase. Okay, let's go back to your previous pipeline. Okay, this is the pipeline which we ran previously, right? This is the pipeline which we ran previously. Go inside this pipeline. I wanted to show you something, how copy activity is working here. You see, this is the copy data. Just click here. See, directly data is loading from SQL Server to the Azure Synapse here. But if you're using polybase, you need to load data into intermediate layer. That can be data lake storage Gen 2 or blob storage V2. Okay, go back. So it is running. So I think it's finished. It is finished already. Okay, completed. Now you can just come here. Don't do anything. Let's do everything from here. This is the easiest. Okay. So let's refresh this table list to see the tables. See, you have cost output, EMP output, prod output, but where is the rest of the tables? Where rest of the tables I did not receive. What is this archive with select a star from metadata? This is ready. This is ready. I think still executing our pipeline. We clicked something else or what? Let's go to our pipeline. Oh, still it is in progress. Still it is in progress. Okay. Still it is in progress. So it is still executing. Friends, that's why. Okay, I think. Come to data warehouse. Refresh this table list. See, all 5 tables you got, right? 3, 4, 5. Now come to pipeline. You may ask one question. If you are using polybase, the duration has increased 4 minutes. Here it is just 2 minutes. So as we are using we are dealing with this small amount of data. When you have small amount of data, so you will not be able to see the performance. Okay, so you need to check with the huge amount of data, then you will come to know, because here we are seeing, right? So our activities are queuing. So after queuing, those are executing. If the queue is taking more time, then we will not be able to understand the status, right? So that's why. But here you see copy activity just took 20 seconds. Come back, go here and see, go anywhere here. Here copy activity just took 11 seconds. The reason is, so here less time because you're directly inserting, that is one thing, and it's a very less amount of data. But when you have huge amount of data, this polybase will work as efficiently compared to your bulk insert. Okay, clear friends?
Malaya, here, what is the use of staging layer instead of sending SQL Server to Azure Synapse?
That's what I'm telling, so every time. Okay, 1 second, I think. Come to data lake storage gen 2. So once you are picking data from SQL Server and loading into Azure Synapse, it will take more time. But if you load data from SQL Server and write it into data lake storage gen 2 as a format that polybase required, in which format polybase will write the data and all those things you can see here, but that particular format data you cannot able to read. It's a snappy, it's a compressed file, but you will not be able to read that data. You cannot see for each table one file created, one folder. But if you go inside, what you are seeing, you don't have anything here. You see, if you open any folder, you will not see anything, because data will not be stored in this particular staging layer. Data will be written into the staging layer in a format that is required for your polybase. Once you written in that format, it can able to quickly write data into Azure Synapse. That is the technique of polybase. If you're writing data as it is from SQL Server to the data warehouse, it will take more time when you have a huge amount of data in big data. So it's the staging layer. It is not storing any data here.
Hello, Malaya.
Yeah.
Is it because of this compression technique, polybase is faster than bulk insert?
Yes. This is basically, it's a snappy example. You see, when you are writing data, okay, so what happens is you will compress the data and you will write it. Okay, if you are using polybase. So if it is 1 GB data, you will compress, you will get some 250 GB. If it is 100 GB, you will get to some 300 GB or something.
For
Sorry,
large
30 GB.
volumes of data, we will go with this polybase, right?
Polybase, right? In real time, we will use polybase only.
Okay, Malaya, thank you.
See, 100 GB data, if you have in on-premise SQL Server, when you compress and write it, it will be some 20 or 30 GB. Okay, out of 100 GB, it will be 20 to 30 GB. This 30 GB, writing 30 GB data into your Azure Synapse is much more faster compared to writing this 100 GB of data into Azure Synapse. Okay. That is the advantage of polybase. Okay, everybody's clear? Everybody's clear on these things?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just show you one more thing as well. That is, let's say this is the virtual machine, right? So this particular virtual machine, this is virtual machine name is nothing but your server name, right? Take this, you can able to connect it from here. Okay, by using this Azure Data Studio, you can able to connect to your on-premise SQL server. Just put it here. Server name we'll see, and SQL login, I will say Cloud Pandit admin. So database name, I will say Cloud Pandit SQL DB. Sorry, Cloud Pandit DB. Connect. One second, I think here also we need to enable the firewalls. Okay. Click on networking. Here inbound and the outbound roles, right? So you just say add inbound role. Select port range is any, destination is any, destination port range. Port range is, I can say, single port. So I will ask so to provide for any range of port. Okay, just click OK, add it. In the same way, we need to add the outbound. Let's add outbound. Okay, I am just allowing everything by default, but in real time we won't allow everything to come and go. Okay, just click add. I just added in inbound and outbound role. Let's see, it is saving. It is saved now. Let's try to connect now. We'll see whether we will be able to connect now.
Let's check SQL server name.
SQL server name, oh, very nice, man. SQL server name is what? SQL server name is same. Database.windows.net. We need to give, I think. Click connect. We'll see this later. I will just look into it. Cloud. Okay, I will just look into it. Don't worry. But any other questions, friends, with respect to today's session? Okay, copying data from on-premise SQL Server to the data warehouse.
Malaya, I just reminding you, today's back video is not opening. 29 sessions.
That I will just look into it. 1 second. Stop the recording.